Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Well Weight Wednesdays, your weekly wellness and weight loss tip from me, Lisa M. Pepe at lisampepe.com or leanerladies.com. So, this week I want to talk to you a little bit about chemicals in our foods and how they affect us. One of the main things I ask all of my clients to do is to read every label of every food that you purchase. And if you see a preservative or an ingredient that you can't pronounce, put it down and stay away from it. And I mean this because I myself have not checked labels several times, and especially when I'm away traveling like this week, and I accidentally ingested a food that had a preservative called polyphosphate in it. And this came in tuna fish in a can, solid white, totally elite albacore tuna that I eat every once in a while on a salad when I'm on the run or on the go. I don't love canned seafood, but tuna is a great thing to put on your salad for extra protein when you don't have anything fresh available. However, try to buy the ones that don't have anything except the tuna water and maybe a little salt in it. They are starting to put other ingredients in your canned goods, not just tuna. I'm talking any canned vegetable, any bean, or anything that you buy in any form of packaging, especially canned goods. You have to double check that they're not loading it up with MSG or polyphosphates, or the other one that they like to put in there is monosodium glutamate has a cousin called disodium guanylate and disodium insulate. So anything that looks like a sodium byproduct, I will let you know is not good for you, and it is just a preservative that is probably wreaking havoc on your body and causing health issues, immediate or long term, and probably hindering your weight loss abilities. So, the number one thing I want to tell you to do is to check and read your labels at all times and make sure this doesn't happen to you. I also know a lot of these preservatives cause immediate allergic reactions, sometimes delayed reactions, such as water retention, swelling. I get blisters on my tongue and my throat swells, my glands swell. I feel like I've got a swollen neck. I get really achy. I get really tired, and it just messes my system up beyond belief. You might feel these on a daily basis and not realize that it's the preservatives in your food that are causing some of these symptoms, or at the very least, exaggerating as maybe a symptom or a condition that you already have. So try to read the labels. I have so many clients and people I know tell me, oh, I eat healthy and I stay away from this, that, and the other, but nothing works. Well, I will guarantee you that if I went into their kitchen or your kitchen and I looked in your cabinets, I looked in your refrigerator and your freezer, and I checked some of those labels, I'm going to find preservatives and additives and ingredients that you probably should not be ingesting on a daily basis. So get in there and clean them all out. And there are options and alternatives to the things that you buy that do not contain these extra additives in them. For instance, if you buy any type of a canned good, such as fish or maybe beans or vegetables, about 50% of the companies are putting extra preservatives or things to retain color or freshness or whatever it may be. And the other 50%, maybe less now, maybe just about 30%, still do not. You want to try and buy the organic versions, even though I'm not sure it's 100% organic. I'm not going to worry about that. What I'm going to worry about is what they're adding into the processed food, the canned good, or even the boxed food, whatever it is you're buying. I want to know what else they're putting in there. And most of the organic versions do not have those additives or preservatives in them. And you want to make sure that you're reading every label. And if it is a choice between a can of tuna or beans that has polyphosphates or disodium guanylate or MSG, any other preservative, or anything that is used to retain color, or anything you can't pronounce or you don't know what it is. And if you have a choice between buying that or the organic version or the other version that does not contain anything except maybe the food, water, and salt, and it only costs 20 cents more, buy the organic one that doesn't have any additive in it. Come on. Let's not be too cheap here. I'm telling you, the 20 cents is going to be worth it in the long run, and it'll help your health. So don't be cheap and splurge and buy the organic version, even if it's 20, 30, 40 cents more. Just buy it. You'll thank me later. Anyway, make sure you're checking those labels. Number one, don't skimp when it comes to the foods you're eating. And as I said, let's not go down the path of having to eat everything organic, because some of the companies that are making these foods don't put that in there. I do know that a few of the cans of tuna I've bought in the past, a store brand and maybe even a Trader Joe's brand, did not have anything in it except tuna, water, and salt. That's it. You know, they're starting to add these fancy things, like they're saying, oh, it's got some broth in it, maybe vegetable broth or chicken broth. And then they add the polyphosphates or the tripolyphosphate. And then they add another thing that says, we just put this in for color retention. Well, guess what? The can that doesn't have that in there, honestly, when you open it, the quality is just as good if you're buying the right brand and you're buying the right type, okay? So don't let them fool you. Anything that you buy that's processed that has any kind of artificial ingredients or preservatives or anything else, you have to stay away from it. It will definitely cause weight gain, and if anything, it will prevent you from losing weight. It causes inflammation in your body. You've heard me talk about inflammation time and time again. Go to lisampepe.com/blog and catch one of my previous videos on my video blog, and you'll hear all about inflammation and how it's wreaking havoc on your body and your joints. And I tell you certain things to stay away from in those videos, but this video is all about the chemicals and the additives in our food. And those are very obvious. So let's not get discouraged and say, oh, well, I can't stay away from everything and I can't stay away from all these foods I'm supposed to be cutting out. Let's start with the foods that you know that are not 100% natural, the foods you know contain other ingredients that you don't even know how to pronounce, and they are definitely preservatives or some form of, additive. Let's make sure we're staying away from them. And that will help you feel better in your body, guaranteed. Because the minute I eat something that has any of those additives in it, I pay the price. And I'm your canary in the coal mine, here to tell you that if it affects me now, it's going to affect you in the long run. And you're not going to like what it's going to do inside your body. And if anything, if it's affecting you now, you're probably feeling horrible. Or if you're not having an immediate reaction to it, you're just wondering why you're always just kind of feeling fatigued and not feeling so well. And all these things are happening and you're not really sure why. So one of them will be from the additives and preservatives in your foods, and I want you to stay away from those. Read your labels and buy organic when you can, but as I said, I'm not always saying just buy organic and you have to eat 100% organic. If you know where the food came from, how it was grown, and when it was processed, did they add a bunch of chemicals to it? You just want to make sure that it's the purest form of the food that you can get, even if it has been processed minimally or in some way, shape, or form. At the very least, you can make sure that you're not getting anything extra when you're eating it. There are pesticides in our environment. There are pesticides on our foods, even some organic food that's maybe not sprayed with pesticide. It still gets cross-contaminated from other crops. And I'm not saying it's all a farce and it's not true. It's grown organically as far as the rules and regulations say it has to be. But, let's try just eat the whole food. And if you get foods that aren't organic, wash them well if you're going to be eating produce. And when you're buying any type of a meat, if it's a seafood, chicken, fish, steak, pork, whatever it is, make sure that you know that it's not injected with additives and preservatives. Any type of solution that's injected, especially in turkeys for Thanksgiving, I will not buy an injected turkey because I do not know what's in the solution, and I've had bad reactions to the ones that are injected. I know it sounds extreme, but those solutions have things in them you don't want to know. And they may try to pass it off as if though it's an all-natural chicken broth, but it's really not. They put what they want in it and they enhance the flavor with MSG's cousins that you don't even know what they are. So you just say, oh, that must be good. It has the word sodium in it. Anything with sodium in it just means salt. Well, it doesn't. Once you alter the sodium molecule, it starts to turn into something your body doesn't recognize. So don't eat it. So just because you see sodium in the word doesn't mean it's safe, and I avoid it at all costs. So when you're buying any type of food, fresh, frozen, canned, processed, whatever it is, make sure you know where it came from. And anything fresh that you know probably has pesticide residue on it, make sure you wash it well or rinse it well. And if you're going to buy anything that's frozen, make sure you read the ingredients in the frozen item, because even chicken frozen will sometimes say it has 2%, 5%, 10% of a solution added, and you don't want that because you don't know what's in the solution. And I can tell you that if you eat like this and you eat foods like this every day and you're just trusting that it says chicken, so it must be chicken, and you're not reading what else they put in it, that you're doing your body great harm. And I'm telling you, you are definitely going to feel it, and your well weight goals will not be as easy to achieve. And you probably will have a lot of side effects that you're not even aware of that are coming from this food that's processed with all of these additives in it. So, number one, read your labels. Number two, try to eat food that only contains the ingredient and maybe some water and salt. Plain salt, not sodium polyphosphates or any disodium guanylate or anything that has the word sodium in it that looks like it's an alternative sodium or salt. Don't eat that. Just eat where it says plain salt. That's okay. So it'll say chicken, water, salt. Tuna, water, salt. Beans, water, salt. That's all you want to be able to. You want to be able to read that. You want to be able to understand that those are the ingredients that you want in your food. And for those of you who can't have salt, get the one with no salt. Pay the extra 20 cents, 30 cents, whatever it is, and just make sure you get it. The frozen seafood, you will notice a lot of the frozen seafood nowadays is coming from China and Thailand, and I have a bad experience or two. I've had a bad experience or two or three with that frozen seafood, and a lot of that does contain the tripolyphosphates and the polyphosphates, and some of it on the bag that does not say it contains that may still have traces of it because we don't know what they did to it when it was in China and Thailand and it was processed over there. So I advise not taking your chances, getting local seafood when you can, or locally sourced meat when you can, and always checking the packaging if it came from somewhere you're not aware of, or if it's frozen, or if it's processed in any way. You want to make sure that there is nothing extra in there that's going to hurt you. And you also want to make sure that you kind of know where it's from, because if it's from a country that you don't trust to do the right thing when they're growing or processing or even handling it, then don't buy the food from there. Try to find an alternative and just ask your grocer or the grocery store manager, or ask the butcher at the meat counter, or if somebody doesn't know, then Google it yourself and research it. And I guarantee you'll start feeling better just from staying away from all of the additives in food, as harmless as they may seem, they're all harmful. And the less you ingest, the better you'll feel. So that's it for this Well Weight Wednesdays on chemicals in your food and how they affect your body. Not very well. And if you want more information on this and a free download that comes along with this, please go to lisambpepe.com/blog/chemicals in your food. And about a third of the way down the page, you'll see a little box to sign up for to receive the free download that goes along with this, and a list of some of the foods and ingredients that I've found that I stay away from, or some of the additives I stay away from in the foods that I buy. And I will talk to you next week on Well Weight Wednesdays. If you have any questions about this video, please go to lisambpepe.com and send me an email or contact me through my contact page, and I will talk to you soon. Have another great Well Weight rest of your week. Bye-bye.